All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So I think we're on part 4 now. Child, this is gonna go on for a long time. Um, but anyway, I hope y'all are enjoying my life, child, because it's been quite the rodeo. So let's get into finishing up this story. So Narcissist 2 and I, like I said, we begin to become really, really, really good friends. I mean, like, that was my homie. I mean, like, that was the first person I talked to every day. The probably last person I talked to at night, for at least 4.5 years of their relationship. I mean, he became extremely essential to my day-to-day life. I would tell him everything, and he would tell me most things, but I thought was everything. But it just wasn't. It just wasn't what I thought it was. So let's get back into the beginning of 2015 or whatever. So, like, we're hanging out, he has this new job, and he's coming to see me before he goes to work or whatever. Of course, we are sexually active, but I will say that because of everything that I had gone through in my previous relationships and in the relationship with Narcissist 1, I decided that I wasn't going to sleep with him early. Like, I decided that I was going to wait to sleep with him so that I would be waiting to make sure this was the right person. Like, even though I was still in a broken place, I still wanted to be a wife. Like, I desired to do the relationship the right way. I desired to not cheat. I desired to, hold this man down. Like, the next man that I was with, I wanted to hold him down. Like, I wanted to not leave, when things got hard or tough. It was my goal. So that had a huge impact on me staying around for 5 years, because I never cheated on him. And I never wanted him to feel like I wasn't a ride or die girl. So as long as everything was straight and won't no girls calling me and nothing was like being fishy, then I was down and I stayed. And y'all, I was so in love with this man and I was ready to marry him. I was ready to marry him. So when this all blew up in February of this year of 2020, I'm going to tell y'all I lost it. And we're going to get to that in another video about how I found out and how I came out and how I'm here sitting in front of you right now. We are going to get there because I know that people aren't watching just to hear my story. Like, they want to know how I healed and how I made it. So we're definitely going to get there in other videos. But I just wanted to tell you, like, I had gotten myself together for this relationship. Every relationship that I've had previously in my life, I have cheated. And I'm not saying the man, he probably had cheated too. I don't know. I've known about being cheated on, maybe like 2 or 3 relationships, but it wasn't like all men always cheated on me. No, I always cheated on them because I had identity issues, because I felt like if someone wasn't giving me what I wanted or needed or asked for in a relationship, then I needed attention from other people in order to fill that space, because I wasn't comfortable with myself. It's all like a cycle or a history of brokenness and not knowing who I am, not believing in myself, not trusting that God has someone for me. Like he always said he has someone for me, and me trying to do it on my own, trying to find my own man, trying to make my own relationship, trying to do everything by myself. And then I ended up here where I almost literally almost lost it. Like, I almost wasn't going to be sitting in front of you guys right now, but I'm about to get emotional. But thankfully, I am. So, like I was saying, we waited to have sex. I waited to have sex with him 4 months after we met. And at this point, I'm like, he always said, he wanted to be friends first. Like, he wanted to be friends first. He wanted a solid friendship. And then, 2 years later, he told me this in the beginning. I remember the conversation. He was like, if we be friends for 2 years or whatever, then after that, we can move it on up to a relationship. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, I can do that. I mean, I'm just kind of out of this toxic foolishness with this other man until like, okay, I can be your friend. So we were friends. We talked about everything. He never said anything to put me down. He never was yelling at me. He never really cursed at me. He did everything opposite of my first boyfriend. The first narcissist. Like, everything opposite. He was dependable as far as him calling me. Call me every day at the same time, of the day. Like, he would text me all during the day. I would text him back all during the day. He had, in the beginning of the relationship, he took me to his apartment, where he was living with his sick grandma. So, mind you, all right, this whole grandma thing, it's becoming a little repetitious. But I'm thinking, oh, God wanted me to learn how to be patient with a person taking care of their grandma in the past relationship. So now I have to be patient with him because he has a sick grandma as well. The devil. Okay? Deception. Okay? So because I had told narcissist number 2 about the situation with narcissist 1 and his grandma, and he heard, I guess, in my speech about how empathetic I was, about how, that is a soft space for me, someone trying to help and take care of their grandma, he used it. So anyway, he brought me over to his apartment or whatever, where he lived with his grandma. And in the apartment was shoes and all this stuff, 2-bedroom apartment. So I assumed that that's where he lived at. That was the only time I ever went to his apartment. Every other time he came over to my apartment. But this is the setup. This is him setting me up for the okie doke for 5 years. Like, I'm like, as the years are going by, I'm like, why I don't never come to your house? Why I can't never come to your house? And he's like, well, my grandma is sick and it's uncomfortable for her. And, we got to protect her and all of this. And me being the healthcare empathetic person that I am, I'm like, okay, I understand. I get it. Like, cool. So let me give a little bit of his background. So his parents live in New York or whatever. So they don't live here. So I never even met them either. But that's because he, as far as I know, never hardly even went to New York. And when his mom came down here, probably like a couple times throughout the 5-year process, he always made it like he said his mom didn't want to meet any other girl until he was ready to marry her. So I'm like, okay, like, I understand that. So, whenever you're ready to marry me, I guess I'll meet your mom. After about 3 years, I'm like, okay, are you ready to marry me yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, when am I going to meet your mom? But I'm still being understanding because I am already loved mom. I'm already stuck and trapped because this person is like a godsend to me. Like, he almost never, to me, did anything wrong. The only issue that we always had was time. From the beginning, I begged him, like, please, like, we have to spend more time together. Like, we have to spend more time together if we're going to get to know each other. Another thing, he almost never spent the night with me either. But his excuse for not spending the night is that he didn't want to be shacking because he knew I was Christian. He knew that was important to me. So he made it his thing. Like, that's his thing. Like, he wants to do this right. He always said, I'm so tired of getting relationships wrong until I really want to do this one right. Y'all, these are lies. He lied the whole time. Like, he was living with a host of people, a host of women. It wasn't just one woman. It's a host of women, but we'll get there later. But living with multiple people, not living with his grandma where he showed me half of his stuff was. Now this also is similar to Narcissist 1 because he ain't really have no place to stay. And Narcissist 2 comes along and he don't really have no place to stay either. But I didn't know that until 2020. So he ain't really had no place to stay that's his own this whole time. I mean, this man had multiple phone numbers, multiple addresses. I mean, this is how he lives his life, a life of deception. But like I said, I didn't find this out until 2020, or child, I would have been gone. No woman ever called me saying, oh, you better come get your man. No, I would have been gone because I don't do cheating, because I know I used to be a cheater. And I know if you cheat in the relationship, you probably going to continue to cheat. So no, like he didn't even have a chance for anybody to call me or for me to find out nothing foolish because I was going to be gone. And he knew that. And I always told him that. And he was so good at doing what he did until he made sure that I did not find out about anything until the Lord led me to find out about all of this in February of this year. So if you think that people aren't out here to waste your time, you have another thing coming. You have another thing coming. You have to protect yourself. You have to put yourself first because it is a dog eat dog world out here. And I'm not saying that it's not no good men, because there are some good men out here. But if you ain't good on the inside, if you're broken on the inside, then all you're going to bring into your life is broken people. Broken people attract broken people, and basically you just filling each other's empty spots in your life that God is supposed to be filling. So I wouldn't even trust myself until God has completely healed me and I'm a whole woman. And I'm getting there. I don't know if I'm there right now. Probably in a couple more months I'll be good. But I'm looking at everybody sideways because I'm like, wait, I got to make sure I'm healed because I don't know what this is coming. Might your discernment be off, especially when you start having sex with people. Sex confuses things. You cannot discern a person if you're sleeping with them. If you have an emotional attachment, a soul tie, a physical tie to that person, you're not going to be able to hear if God is even trying to tell you and send you the signs that this person is not for you. You're not going to be able to discern it. These people are smarter. They have lived their lives in this way. And mind you, Narcissist 1 probably don't even know that he's a narcissist. Like he probably doesn't even know it. But Narcissist 2, oh, he knows what he's doing. He is calculated. He never slipped up. He is intentionally doing what he is doing. And I'm not saying be angry at these people because these people are sick mentally. They need help. They are demonically possessed. I'm pretty sure of it. Like, I'm not saying like, ooh, hate them, because you have to forgive them in order to heal. But what I'm saying is it's either going to be you or it's going to be them. And you better choose yourself. You have to get out of it to heal from it and to have a better life. You have to cut it off. Woo! I didn't mean to start preaching at y'all, but when people make excuses for people's mistreatment of them, it bothers me. And it puts you in a stage of victimization to that you'll never get out of the cycle of toxic relationships if you don't choose yourself. You have to choose yourself. So I'm going to stop here. The sun, I don't know what the sun is doing, but I'm going to stop here on part 4, and we're going to pick up on part 5, and we're going to talk about the things that I missed, the red flags that I missed, and we're going to kind of get to how I found this all out, and we'll start on how I begin to heal. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe and share this to someone. And I hope that you guys are healing in some way from this, or at least being encouraged, and at least you don't feel as alone and isolated. I love you guys. Bye.